Hello everybody, this is Physiology for the Uninitiated. Thank you very much for coming in and watching. This is a snatch workout that I programmed for myself not too long ago. This workout happened around 10 days ago from the day that I did this audio recording, so let's get analytical. So I'm just running through a very basic snatch workout where the rep scheme is moderate amount of weight. And here's my weightlifting coach certification that I just recently got not too long ago. The big reason for this workout was really getting back into the groove of catching barbells at this bottom position, working that shoulder mobility, and this is my CrossFit level 1 certification. If anyone wanted to know what the credentials were and why I feel as though I have space to talk in this community. So with this snatch workout, we're really working through catching this barbell at the bottom position, holding the barbell with an engaged scapula. It's a difficult thing for people to do, and we're not going to be perfect on all these repetitions, and that's okay. So we're starting at the bottom position, pulling that barbell into that complete depth of squat and driving out of the hole. Next, we have moved into the snatch grip deadlift. This is a great way to build some power, pulling that barbell off of the ground and getting into that hip crease. And you can see that I'm not extending those hips all the way through into the bar. There's a little bit of space there where I sit the barbell back as if I'm about to move into that third pull of the iteration within the snatch. Now we're moving into the Metcon. This will be a couple of double unders, moving right into the overhead squat. I'm not perfect with double unders. I actually really despise doing double unders. I'm just not that great at them. So all the more reason to work at them even more, right? And so every once in a while, especially if the equipment is open and free for me to use, I'm really going to work on those weaknesses. But I don't really get obsessive with that type of thing. So we're moving into the overhead squat portion of this Metcon. Metcon stands for metabolic conditioning. It's when you throw in multiple movements at a high intensity. High intensity meaning there are no real rest intervals. We're going one iteration after the other with however many movements. It can range from 2 movements to 20 movements, or as little as 1 movement. And you just keep working that iteration over and over again for a set time period or intervals. It really holds the same sentiment as like high intensity interval training. But one round after another, and just keep working through those rounds. It's a great way to stay. It's a really great way to test how well your body uses its fueling system, because you're not just working your aerobic, but you're also working the anaerobic. You're mixing the two energy systems together. So moving into this next iteration, you can see that I'm under fatigue, and that's what's making this overhead squat kind of difficult. And so you have to focus a little bit more on, okay, let's keep those scaps engaged. Let's make sure I'm holding onto this barbell. Let's make sure the the pull off the ground, that initial snatch to get the barbell in place. All right, let's make sure that that looks good. There's a cognitive element. There's a cognitive element when you imply conditioning onto complex weightlifting movements, such as a snatch, whatnot. And this is what endangers some people to, potentially experiencing bad injuries. Is that you have a complex movement, you're under a lot of fatigue, and you might gap off one of the steps to the movement, and you don't do the movement properly, and you get yourself hurt. But on the flip side, you can certainly develop a lot of competence and confidence with these specific variations of the movements when you put yourself under fatigue. It's one of the good ways that it's a surefire way to test whether or not you're actually good at what you're doing. Implement fatigue, and you see where your true competence level lies. Something that military, law enforcement, fire all really enjoy doing. Hey, let's ramp up the fatigue markers and see where this person's true competency falls back into. Like they say, I think the saying is, you always fall back onto your highest level of training. You're not going to start making things up. You're just going to fall back to what your body has already been subjected to, already been inoculated to. So next we're moving into these pull-ups, and these look kind of wonky, but I'm trying to pull that bar. I'm trying to pull that bar into that lower chest area. When I pull up to the chin, it seems to aggravate my neck. So when I make that pull, I'm trying to get closer to the chest more than anything. And also that's good for translation into the bar muscle up movement. And look at that guy. Handsome bloke. It definitely gives like a little bit of a translation into bar muscle ups. If you can pull that barbell into your lower chest, upper abdomen, you're in a more ergonomic placement to make that turnover onto the bar when you do a bar muscle up. I can dive a little bit deeper into that in the future when we start doing more gymnastics. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.